The Central Valley is full of great attractions. Sure, you can cruise up to the zoo, maybe go catch a game at the ballpark, head to the mountains to Yosemite, but there's some other great places here in the valley too, and I'm going to be setting out today on the open road and showing you a couple. I love this guy. There's so many great little places you can run into right off the highway in the Central Valley, including an underground garden. I got like 80 acres. Yeah, built my own house.
2-bedroom house.
Did I tell you that it's like 20 feet underground?
Yeah.
A fossil museum. This thing right here was walking around Chowchilla and Madera.
That's right.
And one of the most beautiful sights in all of Fresno, the Blossom Trail. With so many rad places to go, the only way I'm gonna hit them all is if I turn this into a road trip. We are headed to our next stop. Yeah, right here. This looks cool. So grab shotgun with me and come along as we explore some of the Central Valley's best roadside attractions. Central California definitely has its own vibe. From the laid-back latitudes of the Central Coast to the scenic wonders of the Sierra and all the amazing people, cultures, food found in the great cities and towns of the San Joaquin Valley. I'm on a mission to explore the festivals, the hidden gems, the history, and the stories that make up this great place I love to call home. I'm Roy Sizemore, and we're hitting the road. Hitting the Road with Roy Sizemore is made possible by viewers like you. Your support fuels the adventures and incredible connections that make the Central Valley special. Every journey we take, every story we share is thanks to you. Become a member today to help keep the good times rolling. Visit our website to learn more. Thank you. Alrighty, so today we're hitting the road, literally going to look for some cool roadside attractions here in the Central Valley. Now, some of these places I've known about forever and yet to go to, and I've been saying I need to go check this out. Some are places that are really cool that I never even heard about. We're gonna hit the road, we're gonna see some cool stuff, and we're gonna guys drive around and check it all out. You're invited to come along, so let's do it. Road tripping. Welcome to Madera County, a place known for agriculture, amazing restaurants, and giant beasts with gnarly teeth and tusks and claws. What? Right off the 99 freeway, you can find yourself at the Madera Fossil Discovery Center, an oddly placed time capsule that transports you millions of years into the past with some animals and creatures that I've never even heard of. But you know what they say, there's a first time for everything. Let's check it out. All right, I'm here with Michelle, and you're the expert, right, on all this. Can you
Semi-expert.
could you tell us like how this even came about? Because this was all kind of surreptitious. This was like an accident, kind of.
Indeed. In 1993, across the street at the landfill, there was a bump in the digging of the cell to put the garbage, and the person stopped and took a closer look and found out that it was a Columbian mammoth tusk.
So you find the one, and you got to look for more,
Yes.
and then this is where it really kind of started going.
Right. We're up to 15,000 fossils found.
Wow.
This above us is a replica of the Columbian mammoth whose tusk was found. An actual tusk is right there. That would be what would be found.
That's the real tusk right there.
That's the real tusk. These are Ice Age animals ranging from 500,000 to 800,000 years old.
Almost a million years. Really.
Almost.
When you're talking bones, yeah.
Right, they're much younger than dinosaurs though.
So 500,000 years ago, though, this thing right here was walking around Chowchilla and Madera.
That's right.
That just amazes me that at one point, these just herds of these things were roaming around the valley, and other animals.
Right, we can go take a look at those in our what we call the diorama room.
I'll follow you.
All right.
All right, here we are in the
Diorama.
diorama. Now, all of these, all a new species that hadn't been found before until they came right here
Right.
to Madera County.
I believe that was the scimitar cat.
So it was a whole new discovery
Right.
here in our backyard.
Right. Behind me is the saber-toothed cat, and that's my favorite carnivore here. He is the California state fossil. So it's another.
We have our own state fossil.
Yes.
So we have the poppy
Yes.
as our flower. The
Quail.
Well, thank you. Okay, quail, you know, I'm glad you know it. And then our dinosaur, our fossil is the saber-toothed cat.
That's correct.
You learn something every day. This is why you watch PBS right here. I want to get to this guy though. This is my favorite. This scared the heck out of me. 40 miles an hour these things could run.
And 1,200 pounds.
1,200 pounds.
Right.
So imagine you're out
Yes.
Oh, this is how Jurassic Park starts.
In here is where the, from the field, the landfill across the street, would come the fossils that are encased. The bottom line is anything you see in a cast around here will not probably come out of it because it will deteriorate. That's part of the process of getting a fossil cast in the field into the laboratory.
Okay, so I heard of the mammoths. I had never seen that amazing, crazy bear monster looking thing. That was scary. And we had our own saber-toothed tiger? Like only in this area? That's crazy. The Central Valley may be our home now, but it was once inhabited by amazing creatures literally larger than life. Next up on the road, the home of Balthazar Forestiere, a man who's not as old as mammoths or dinosaurs, but not quite as young and spry as yours truly. Balthazar's story takes place way back in the 1900s, right in the heart of Fresno, California, where he dug a series of intricate tunnels to form his home, or what we now call Forestiere Underground Gardens. So you might not know this, but right off Shaw and 99, right off the freeway, is this hidden underground oasis. I'm here with Shara. We're at Forestiere Underground Gardens. You're going to guide us around today, take us through it. Before we get started, I have to admit, this is my first time being here. I've lived in Fresno 25 years. I've heard about it, I've read about it, I've seen pictures, I've heard even a podcast about it. But this is my first time coming here. Just before we go down, brief synopsis. What are we doing today?
Well, I want to say you're not alone in having that 25-year span of not coming out
Okay,
here.
good,
So
good.
many locals have lived here their entire lives and they haven't made their way to this hidden gem. But today we're going to see the underground home of Balthazar Forestiere. It was hand carved out over the course of 40 years, starting in 1906. So we're gonna go see his home, the bedrooms, the kitchen, courtyards, even a ballroom, which I think you're a little excited to see.
An underground ballroom, that's like a crazy vampire club or something. I'm down for that. Let's do this, let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go. So you kind of wonder, genius, madness, a little column A, little column B? What's with this Balthazar guy? All this done by hand, that is amazingly labor intensive. I can barely muster up the energy to empty the dishwasher. So how did he even get started? Like, from what I understand, he was farming back in Italy.
Yes, Sicily.
Sicily.
Okay,
comes to America, starts digging tunnels in New York.
Yes.
And then I'm guessing that's where he got the bug for this, but then wanted to farm So all the way from New York, all the way over to California to the valley.
That's right. So the time that Baldassar came to the United States was the Progressive Era. There were millions of immigrants coming from Europe over to the United States. And so Baldassar, being a young man, he was 21 years old, and he just wanted to try to make his way in the world. So he did start out working as a tunneler for subways on the East Coast. What really caused him to come up with this idea of creating something underground was the Fresno heat. Because it gets so hot here in the summer.
Yeah, facts.
Yes, so he just had to think of a way to escape that. You know, he's working all day in the hot sun, so he thinks he's just gonna dig himself a cellar, just one room. And that's actually where we are right now. He just dug this area so he could bring his bed underground and just have a cool place to sleep at the end of the night.
Wow. He literally moved his whole house.
He did. He ended up completely living underground. So he moved his bed down here. He made a kitchen for his stove. So he was pretty self-sufficient just being underground.
That's great. That's amazing. All right, well, let's continue.
Let's go have a look.
After hearing the origins of this just hole in the wall, I can't help but think about how fascinating a place the Central Valley is. I mean, the fact that Fresno inspired this creative thinking, this innovation, like forward thinking, pretty much anything besides a heat stroke, truly incredible. Okay, so we're going around. This is the biggest tunnel yet.
Yes.
Question, where's all the dirt go? Like, if he's hand picking and shovel and all that, how is he getting rid of all this?
There's a lot of dirt, and Baldassar himself would get that question from people, and his answer was that he'd stick it all in a big hole in the back.
But where'd the dirt from the, see, no, I see what you're doing here.
What he really did was he moved it all up to ground level, and he built up a topsoil on his property. So where before he wasn't able to plant those citrus trees in the hard pan, he built up so much topsoil that he was able to plant trees up there, which is why we have fruit trees up there today.
So the bottom soil became the topsoil, planted the trees, the upground trees, and then, but then you had the underground. See, it's still a circle. You got a lot going on here. Okay, I get it. Okay, so now we're in the bedrooms, and there are, I see 2 beds. Is this like an I Love Lucy like thing, like the separate beds, or?
It is not, because Baldassar was a single guy. He did have a few girlfriends over the years, but never married. This is actually.
Do you think it was the house they didn't like? Do you think
a little unconventional.
They're like, yeah.
It's a little unconventional.
Honey, I got like 80 acres. Yeah, built my own house.
2-bedroom house.
Did I tell you that it's like 20 feet underground?
Yeah. Might have sounded a little odd at the time.
Okay, so why the 2 bedrooms then?
Because after he was living down here, he learned that he needed to build different rooms to adjust with the seasons. Because it's nice and cool down here in the summertime, he's escaping that heat, but as we're feeling, it gets pretty chilly in the winter.
Yeah, a little bit.
So the room we're standing in right now was his winter bedroom. So it's closed in. He learned hardpan works as a natural insulator, so he just put a fireplace in here.
Right.
And he would stay warm in this winter bedroom.
And he carved this out too. This isn't a metal.
This is his.
This is all hand carved out. Wow. Very practical yet
And another feature in here, above this fireplace, you see this hole?
I
see the little hole there?
Right.
So that is actually a peek hole aimed at his front door.
Oh, I can see the...
So when people would walk in through his front door, he could see who was there. So today we have our Ring doorbells.
I was going to say, he invented the ring. Yes. He like literally invented the ring. That is amazing. That is wild. You could seriously just about get lost down here. There's so many levels.
It can turn you around. That's why we have a guide lead our visitors through so they don't get lost.
Yeah, I would get lost, I'm not gonna lie.
So I hear you're a fisherman.
That is like my favoriteest thing to do.
Well, you are going to love this because Baldassar would go fishing as well in the San Joaquin River.
Okay,
and the fish that he would catch, some of them, of course, he'd keep for eating, but sometimes he'd get those little guys that he would then bring back here to his aquarium.
Okay, this is the aquarium I've heard so much about.
This
it's like
is the aquarium.
A tri-level aquarium. By the way, I would be really good at that because I catch a lot of small fish too.
Well, see, so this is the perfect place for them.
Right.
So from this level, imagine it as a fish pond. So he would put those small fish in here,
Okay.
and he has a bench built in up here, so he would be able to sit and watch those fish swimming around. But there is that tri-level part. If you head down this way, I'm going to show you the next level of the aquarium.
Okay. I'm really excited to see this. All right, gotta watch my head here.
Watch your head, watch your step.
Wow. That is so cool. Oh my gosh.
Amazing.
Right, okay, I get it now. Okay, tri-level, fantastic. All right, gang, I am now underneath the aquarium. So you have the top, you can look down at the aquarium.
Mm-hmm.
And now underneath the aquarium, so you can just sit here, chill, and watch the fish swim around.
Exactly, and this is actually one of the coolest spots in the
Yeah.
entire underground gardens, temperature-wise too,
Right.
because in the summertime, we usually see a temperature drop of 10 to 20 degrees in the other areas. Down here, it stays right at the mid-60s all summer long.
For real.
For real.
Because I'm freezing right now. But like,
But in
come
the
summertime, that sounds
this was
amazing.
the place to be. He kept a chair down here. He would have his lunch down here in the middle of the day and just cool off. Very ahead of his time.
Amazing. All right, so now this is the grand finale, as it were.
Yes, it is. We are now entering Baldassar's grand ballroom.
Okay. Well, this is a lot nicer than like dirt and rocks.
It is pretty different. Part of that is because this was the final project Baldassar worked on before he passed away, and he actually passed away before he was able to finish this room.
Okay, so he didn't lay like these floors and all this came
He
later?
didn't. This all came later from his brother Giuseppe, who ended up taking care of the property after Baldassar had passed away. Giuseppe decided to finish this room as a labor of love to Baldassar.
And I see you stuck with it, got the stained glass windows, so kind of...
Little secret, it's contact paper.
Okay. This is TV. We don't have to tell everyone this stuff. They can't tell. Stained glass windows.
Yeah, the beautiful stained glass windows and the terrazzo floor.
So what was so you could have bands, you could have like a wedding, you could have...
That was his idea. He wanted to have big celebrations and parties for his resort.
Right.
So he excavated this room and made the stage. So yes, you could have live music up here, or someone could get married up here.
So this looks like, though, did he do this part or was this...
He did this part.
Okay, that's it does. It looks like
You can
this is his
recognize
stuff.
his work, yes.
Right.
This was him.
Just doesn't have a tree growing out of it yet.
Not yet. If he had lived long enough, he probably would have found a way. But his brother ended up putting this roof on top of the room, and this actually comes from a World War II airfield that was in Fresno called Hammer Airfield.
Okay. Wow, good to know.
So it has a history all its own.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Sheriff, for showing me around today, showing everyone around today. Really appreciate it. Again, you really need to come here personally to see it and really experience it. I mean, there's stuff we didn't even see, right?
That's true. There's areas that we didn't get to today. So we do encourage people to come out and experience it in person.
Yeah, it's truly amazing. And when are you open? Are you seasonal or are you?
We are seasonal.
Okay.
Usually March through November. It is dependent on the weather, but March through November is our typical season.
Fantastic. And any parting words you want to say to any of the folks out there?
Yes, you know, Baldassar used to say to make something with a lot of money, that is easy, but to make something out of nothing, that now is really something. And I think after what you've seen today, you would agree with that.
I totally agree with that, and you should see it for yourself. And on that, thank you, and come on out to the Underground Gardens.
So reflecting on this experience, I have to say Baldassar was a genius. I mean, first of all, to have the whole idea, but to actually go through with it, truly amazing. Every good road trip needs a little drinky snacky pit stop, so on our way to our final stop, gonna hit up a fruit stand I've always wanted to try in Sanger. Let's hope it's open.
And it's closed. No, this sucks. It's closed. This is part of the fun part about the road trip is just sometimes things don't work out the way it's supposed to work out. We're going exploring, kids. Buckle up.
So yeah, not open. But the best part about the Central Valley is that you never know what you just might find hiding around the next corner.
Yeah, right here, right here. This looks cool.
Okay, so if you're out and about and you need some supplies on the way to the Blossom Trail, you can stop at the Minkler Cash Store. It's named that. It's not an ironic name. It's not a funny name. It's a cash-only store, and they are open. Except, well, if you look, open most crazy, lazy, fun, but no sun days. See? What they're saying is closed Sunday.
Hello.
Hi. You must be Mary.
I'm Mary.
Hi, Mary. I'm Roy. Pleased to meet
Roy,
you.
pleasure.
And this is your place.
Kind of like yes. I'm the keeper of the gate.
Keeper of the... And how old is this?
Okay, this is it was built in 1920, so it's 104 years old.
Wow.
Always been kind of what it is. It's a grocery store a little bit. Like back in the day, it was more mercantile, so they had tires, Levi's, sundries. Actually, yes, that's eventually how we got into it.
Okay.
My father was a feed salesman, my stepdad, and this was on his route. It came up for sale. He didn't like it.
And he didn't like it.
He's a great salesman, but not, hi, can I help you?
Well, we're out today hitting the Blossom Trail. We're doing roadside attractions, and I've never been in here, and it's the cash store, which means cash only.
Cash only.
Cash only, still using paper and coin money.
Yes.
Now, you probably get a lot of tourists in. How many times a day do they say really cash?
You know, they're mostly local kind of people, and
Okay.
probably at least 5 times a day. And they go, that really means cash? Yes.
That's why it
really?
says, you put it in the name. So we're gonna hit the Blossom Trail. What should we see? Is there anything we don't want to miss? Or any other places we should be checking out?
Okay.
You're the local.
I'm the local. Local or local? I would say Forestiere Gardens.
We just went there.
my
Seriously,
God.
it was my first time. When I said there's places I've wanted to go to forever, and I never went, and that was one of the places. We've also heard Simmonian Farms is supposed to like be really neat, a lot of cool stuff as well.
Yes. You know what? It's been around, established a long time ago, so it's really kind of an interesting place. I think they have a lot of antiques and things to look at, and some of them are probably still for sale.
Right, yours are not.
Yeah, mine are not. You can come and look at them all the
Right.
time you want. But it's kind of like an icon also.
It's a must stop.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that's what I wanted to know. Okay, we're
Yes.
we're definitely hitting that then.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a look around because I really
Go
want to
right ahead.
show off your store now. Thank you
you.
so much, Mary.
Roy,
This is
it's a
awesome.
pleasure.
You bet.
Thank you.
Stumbling upon the gem that is the Minkler Cash Store was a welcome surprise for anyone who relishes the olden days.
Wow, this got a little bit of something, a little bit of everything here.
I mean, a cash-only store? That's straight up Andy Griffith.
Okay, you got to get this duck. I love this guy. That is awesome. I hit Matt. So now we are headed to our next stop, Simmonian Farms, and I'm gonna check out some produce, some tchotchkes, and well, I don't know yet. We'll find out one. Alrighty, we are at Simmonian Farms. Yeah, this is exactly. Yes, I used to take one of these to school.
Originally established in 1901, Simmonian Farms, much like our previous stops today, transports you to a much simpler time.
Oh, what?
One with locally sourced fresh fruit, classic sodas,
Oh, this is cool. They got old sodas. Oh, dang! Dang.
and crickets?
These are bacon and cheese flavored. If that's how you like your crickets.
Well, crickets aside, Mary was not wrong. Simmonian Farms is a must-see stop when visiting the Blossom Trail. And who knows, you might even strike gold. There's gold in them hills. Gold! Draw. Simmonian Farms was like a time capsule that I just didn't want to leave. But just a short drive from it, and we're gonna be at the most anticipated road trip spot.
We're out on the hunt. We're out on the search. We're hunting blossoms, and I want to find some of the pink ones today. I see white ones, but yeah. Oh, look at the sea up here, dude. Look at this. That's awesome. Man, that's nice. Out here in Sanger, California on the Blossom Trail, you might wonder, why are those pink? Why are those almond blossoms pink? Because they're shy. They're embarrassed. No, it's because they're not almonds. They're peaches or nectarines. That's why they have the beautiful color. So, question, when is the best time to hit the Blossom Trail? Because weather's different, you know, every year's different. Real simple, keep an eye on your social media because everybody comes out here to take pictures, okay? You got the engagement photos, the cute couple photos, the family photos. It's a little overdone, to be honest with you. But would make like probably a really killer montage to end the show with. Just saying.
The Central Valley is full of wonderful places to visit, but knowing where to go can sometimes be a daunting task. We hope after today's episode you have an idea or two of where to start. With so many remarkable places to visit in the Central Valley, the Fossil Discovery Center, Forestiere's Gardens, Minkler, Simmonian Farms, the Blossom Trail, the history of this valley lives within the fossils, gardens, and antiques that were left behind by those who came before us. And it's up to us to discover it all. So pack up the car, make a lunch, and get out there on the road and check out these amazing attractions. Hitting the Road with Roy Sizemore is made possible by viewers like you. Your support fuels the adventures and incredible connections that make the Central Valley special. Every journey we take, every story we share is thanks to you. Become a member today to help keep the good times rolling. Visit our website to learn more. Thank you.